Hello, and welcome to Dr. Cack's Corner. I am the resident doctor, Dr. Cack Stevensons, and I wanted to welcome you to a new show that I will be putting out once a week to delve into the issues around Facebook and how we interact with each other. You might be asking yourself, why should I trust a doctor on YouTube? I've spent 6.5 years in different institutions, learning and honing my craft. I spent 3 years at Newark Institute of Culinary Education. I spent another 3.5 years at Oregon Remedial Graduate Academy of Social Media. I've studied social media and the ill effects and positive effects that can come from conversations, posts, photographs, videos, and anything that you might think that could have an effect on someone. I have a few points of interest today that I'd like to go through with you. If you're having trouble on any social media platform in one way or another, or you just want to be better, this is the show for you. Each week, my plan is to go through someone's Facebook page per your requests and diagnose that page for the positives and negatives that could cause friction or could enlighten someone's day. We all have the opportunity to be better, and it is my position to offer that service free of charge here for you on YouTube. I also have published a book that's on top of the New York Times bestseller list for 2021, Examining the Funny Bone: Why Laughter is Not Always the Best Medicine. This book delves into things that other people may think is funny, but the detrimental effects that creating certain jokes can have on others, and the ways that you can utilize your speech, communication, and interactions to help someone else's day. I'm someone that likes a good joke just like anyone else. I think you can see that. But a misplaced joke could have lasting effects that could cause someone else to have issues for years and years to come. I've studied social media for over 30 years. From MySpace to LinkedIn to Pinterest to YouTube to TikTok to Instagram to Snapchat. I've been through many different situations. I've spent time with hundreds, if not thousands of patients over my time, helping them resolve issues with either their current social media situations or ones that they were put in by someone else. Now, who is Dr. Cack? You might be asking yourself what things that I like to do when I'm not stewing over the fact that my wife spent a summer with Enrique in Cuba while I was finishing school. I like to enjoy time with my dog. I also like to read, and I like to enjoy a nice drink. Speaking of which, I have one here. My go-to drink is Cherry Coke Zero. I'm not sponsored by them, I just find it delicious. I also like a nice game of Parcheesi. I find that to be a very enthusiastic and fun game that brings laughter and happiness to all that play it. I also enjoy Solitaire. Solitaire is a great game that allows your mind to focus in on all the puzzle pieces that you need to use to get all the cards put together. With this being my introductory show, I thought that I would take a few random posts that I've seen over the last couple years, bring them to light, and explain ways that we could work better. One of these posts will be a positive post with an interaction that shows the way that you can enlighten someone's day. 2 of these posts will show otherwise. I'm proud of my expertise when it comes to social media and the effects that can come from positive and negative connections with others. Let's all work together to be better on social media and create posts and conversations that help everyone around. You may ask yourself, why social media? With the growing demand of folks using social media platforms, it's even more important today than it was 30 years ago when I started. You all have probably had friends named Tom from MySpace. He was a great guy. He friended everyone on the platform, and he wasn't afraid to put himself out there. Let's go through the first post that I brought up today. I want to highlight some points in this post and show you just how positive this interaction and presenting it to someone else on social media really is in the long run. So I'm sitting in an airport restaurant waiting for my flight back to Charlottesville when an interesting scene unfolds in front of me. A pretty girl is sitting by herself when a foreign guy comes up and introduces himself. Apparently he's from Uruguay, and this is his first time in the US. After exchanging names, he starts trying to enact that Barney pickup technique from How I Met Your Mother, where he pretends that he's someone famous from a foreign country and can't believe she does not know him. The girl is clearly not biting, and the guy is starting to flounder. I feel bad for him, so I walk up and interrupt the conversation, acting all starstruck and asking for his autograph. He seems pretty surprised and then sheepishly signs my napkin. At this point, the girl is noticeably more interested. I walk away, pretending to call a friend to brag about the autograph. Last I checked, he was surrounded by 3 girls. Welcome to America, my friend. There's a few areas of this post that I would like to point out. 1. The only non-recommended action with this post would be corroborating someone's lie. At some point, this young lady's going to find out that this gentleman from Uruguay is not famous. We should all know better than to interject ourselves into a ploy for someone else. But let's move on to the positives with this story. 1. It shows the good deeds of the man, trying to help someone else that's obviously struggling. You may say, well, he's just trying to pick up a girl. But you never know. He might have had a rough trip to America. He might have had a situation where he just wanted to meet someone to have a good time. Maybe a few laughs. Or maybe, like my deadbeat wife, wanted to take this young lady away for just a few months. Needless to say, this is a story that should bring some hope to other people, that you can do good things for them, even if you are doing it in a way that isn't upright and is disingenuous. This is why I feel like this post is actually beneficial. The only area, like I said before, he should have prefaced that it wasn't a good thing for him to lie. My second Facebook post shows why you should be safe and protect yourself when it comes to your online security. But even in that, this Facebook post has a glimmer of goodness to it. I was being a dick to a cab driver last night and refused to pay the fare and threatened him. When he told me that he would take me to a police station, I got scared and planned to do a runner on him. When I tried to run, I forgot my phone in the cab. And now that cab driver is teaching me a lesson by writing this post. even though I was being extremely rude, clumsy bastard, the cab driver is still kind enough to give me an opportunity to get my phone back. All he is asking is the fare that I owe him and an apologizing note on my Facebook wall, and want all of my friends to like it so they can see my true face. The cab driver will check my Facebook again tomorrow to make sure, and once he sees the apologizing note, he'll send the address to pick up the phone. A few points to discuss here. One being, like I said, security of your phone. If you are going to take your phone out and about, make sure you keep it secure to your body, as I don't encourage the actions that gentleman was planning to take by stiffing the cab driver for his fare. If he would have held his phone tightly to him, he wouldn't have had this situation pop up. Now, I will commend the cab driver for offering him an ability to get his phone back, which is the bright side of the story. Now, even though it worked out this time that the person that had access to his phone was good enough to offer that back to him, we still need to work to keep security and privacy set up in a way that none can get in there and cause other issues. Lastly, this is the true power of social media. In those times that you feel like you could get one over on someone, just be aware that even in that situation, you just might not get away with it. And from that point, all of your friends and family might know what you've done. And now let's move to the third Facebook post for our review. This one is absolutely disgusting. The fact that someone would post this on their page for everyone to see is abhorrent. I'll read the post and we'll discuss it. Today, some guy in bathroom stall would hold his poop until he heard me leave. So I turned on the faucet to sound like I was washing my hands, pulled a few paper towels, stomped towards the exit, opened and shut the door, then stood in silence for like a minute. He started doing ridiculously nasty sounding drops and even made some sighs of relief and groans. Then I turned on the faucet again, and you could almost hear him gasp. Can't we be better than this, folks? Why would this be something that you would want to partake in? A, you're causing pain to the individual that is obviously uncomfortable and doesn't usually like to use a public restroom. You might wonder why they have those reservations. It's folks like this that cause those reservations. If he is uncomfortable using the restroom around someone else, why would you force him into a situation where he would do that? Secondarily, putting this on Facebook and bragging about causing someone else pain is absolutely a detriment to everyone around. You might get a few laughs. Hell, you might get 80 people to like your post. But what you're encouraging is terrible behavior on social media. Let's work together to be much better going forward and avoid situations like this for ourselves and for others. Now you might ask me why I would go through social media the way that I do and work to point out the flaws and how people interact and communicate with one another. You may be asking me why social media. While in Oregon Remedial Graduate Academy of Social Media, my wife at the time traveled to Cuba for 2 months with Enrique. The day before she left, which she told me she was going on a girls' trip, on her MySpace page she posted a song by Color Me Bad, I Wanna Sex You Up. That should have showed me the red flags that I needed to not be expecting her back a couple days later and understanding that it was someone I should move on from. that dirty bitch. Every time I hear that song now, I cry uncontrollably for about an hour and a half, and my Tourette's kicks in for about 2 days. I'd like to prevent that from happening to someone else, and I think if we work together that we can do that. So my ask for you, once again, in the comment section, please put Facebook page recommendations for me to go through so we can see the positives, negatives of what we should be doing on social media. Whether someone posts too many pictures of food, too many pictures of their pets, too many pictures of their babies, a page of an inflated self, which is where someone just lies about themselves and about the way that their life looks to make themselves feel better, or if it's someone that always posts negativity and about how everything is going wrong for them. Both avenues are an extremely bad way to put yourself out there. So put your suggestions for folks that I should look up, review their profile, and offer suggestions on how they can get better. I look forward to our times together going forward, and from this point, I thank you for your time. Please come back to Dr. Cack's Corner next week. Don't be like that dirty bitch that went to Cuba with Enrique. You and I can work together to make sure that our interactions and communications on social media and outside and above can be ones of positivity and of substance. Lastly, don't forget to check out my book, Examining the Funny Bone, Why Laughter is Not the Best Medicine. It is a New York Times bestseller for 2021, already this year. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you next week. I'm Dr. Cack Stevensons. Have a good day.